Welcome to the post-credits podcast where we talk about movies after the credits roll. My name is Jesse.
I'm Max. That's not my name. I'm Max.
And I'm Jesse.
And today, I couldn't think of a better joke. Today, we are reviewing The Sheep Detectives, a brand new mystery thriller film by Kyle Balda starring a bunch of sheep.
And Hugh Jackman. My goat.
And a couple other people who aren't sheep. But the most important people are the sheep, for sure. So, yeah, I think we should just jump right in and ask the question, how did you guys hear about The Sheep Detectives?
I think for me, it was whenever the first trailer dropped. Or actually, no, it was when this movie was called 3 Bags Full.
Yeah, so this movie was announced under the title 3 Bags Full, A Sheep Detective Story, which I believe is the title of the book it's based on.
Yeah, it is. And the movie was going to be called 3 Bags Full, and then they changed it to The Sheep Detectives. I think I found out about that when I saw the trailer, and then I watched it, and I was like, that actually looks kind of good, I'm not going to lie. And then the thing that really sold me on it was that the screenwriter for it was Craig Mazin. Who, if you don't know who Craig Mazin is,
he's the artist behind the Hangover movies and...
The Hangover... well, technically, he wrote superhero movie and then co-wrote Hangover 2 and 3. And for the longest time, it was like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to write.
Yes.
And yeah, and then he's most notable now for writing Chernobyl, the highly acclaimed miniseries, and also created and wrote The Last of Us, which is still going.
Yes.
So I saw that, I was like, he's writing a movie, a family movie where a sheep solve a murder? I was like, that kind of sounds interesting. I'm not going to lie.
It might have been for me when I saw Project Hail Mary, because that was at home, and that's usually where I see most of my trailers. I know I saw it like at the Cinemark outside my neighborhood, but I couldn't really tell you. I mean, I'm pretty certain it was Project Hail Mary. So like I didn't really follow it too much, but you know, it's something I heard you guys were excited about.
Yeah, and I heard about this also when it was called 3 Bags Full, A Sheep Detective Story, and I believe when they announced it, they released a still of Hugh Jackman as the farmer, who is named George Hardy, and I remember being just interested enough in it to put it on my list, and it grew very much on my list because I was just like, hell yeah, this seems like a really fun movie, and eventually it kind of fluctuated up and down my list, but ended up around the middle of the pack on my most anticipated list, and it also ended up on Max's most anticipated list.
Yeah, it did. For all the reasons I just mentioned earlier about Craig Mazin and the trailer looking pretty fun, and also it has a really insane cast. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that, but
yeah, we will. And you know what? I mean, we might as well say it. This movie stars Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson, Nicholas Galitzine. If you don't know who Nicholas Galitzine is, you will, because he's about to be playing He-Man. Hong Chow, Bryan Cranston as a voice, Julia Louis-Dreyfus as a voice, Regina Hall and Patrick Stewart as voices. So there's a lot of... It's a very, very good cast.
Yeah, even Patrick Stewart's in it as well.
Bryan Cranston.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
As I mentioned.
No, you didn't.
Cut out when I said Bryan Cranston. We got to prop Logan up here.
Cut out when both of us say it.
Yeah.
He's not in this movie.
Yeah, this movie also kind of serves as
it also has Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, has like an X-Men reunion.
Yes, Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman are back in a movie together for the first time since whenever they were in a movie together last.
Was it Logan?
Probably.
Not our lovely co-host, but
Lovely. That's kind of weird. Cut that out.
Yeah. I was just spitballing here.
Were they not together? Did Patrick Stewart not have like some dumb cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No.
Okay, well then, yeah, I guess it is probably Logan then, last time they were together.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's pretty neat. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you guys have to say about pre-release. I didn't know Craig Mazin was writing it for a very long time. Kyle Balda, you probably know as the director behind Illumination's Minions movies, as well as some of the Despicable Me movies.
Yeah, what was it? Was it Minions, Minions Rise of Gru, and then I also think Despicable Me 3. And then I think he did one other Illumination, but I know those are the...
It was I don't actually think he did any other Illumination. I think it was just he did a lot of shorts. Cuz he did a bunch of Minions shorts in the post like the fallout of Despicable Me, but I don't believe that he actually directed another. Oh, no,
Oh, no,
the
sure.
Lorax.
Yeah, he co-directed that
He
with somebody.
co-directed the Lorax. It didn't show up because it lists director and co-director as separate credits. But yeah, okay. He did co-direct the Lorax
Yeah.
with Chris Renault. Okay. So those are the movies that you will probably know Godfather for.
Yes.
So I think we should just get started with the plot, yeah?
Yes.
How do you feel
Yeah.
about that? So basically, we start outside the English village of Denbrook, which is in England.
Not Denver.
Nope, Denbrook. We have Shepherd George Hardy, played by Hugh Jackman. He lives in he lives on his farm, and he raises his sheep. He gives a little introduction to all of them, and I won't be going over all of them because they're not especially they're not all super important. But the people that are important are Lily the sheep, the main sheep, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Sebastian, the loner of the group, which is an oxymoron, played by Bryan Cranston, Mopple.
Why'd you call Bryan Cranston's character a moron?
I didn't say moron.
You said moron.
No, I said loner.
No, but then you said after that. You said that's a...
That's an oxymoron. 'Cause
Oh, I thought you were calling him a moron.
How
I was
can
like,
you
we're
be-
like 2 minutes into the recap here, and you're calling him a moron.
How could you be a loner and part of a group? Can't be the loner of the group.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's an oxymoron.
You called him that again. There you go.
Yeah, no, look at you, calling people morons left and right.
There's Mopple, who's
Sorry, we are not on our A game today in terms of.
No, wait, we gotta cut that.
Tangents.
We gotta cut that out.
We
They
gotta
can't
cut
know that.
everything out.
But they can't know that. They can't know.
So we got Mopple, who's like Lily's friend sheep, played by Chris O'Dowd. We've got Cloud, the vain sheep, played by Regina Hall, and Sir Richfield, the elder of the herd, played by Patrick Stewart. And then, of course, there are Reggie and Ronnie, who serve no purpose other than to be hilarious. Because they're like, if you watch Zootopia 2, they're the Zebros.
Oh.
They're not actually, but they play the same role.
Oh. Oh wait, yeah. Were you talking about? Sorry, I just totally spaced out. Who are you talking about?
Reggie and Ronnie.
Oh, Brett Goldstein
Yeah,
from
Brett-
Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Yeah, so George Hardy, after introducing his sheep, reveals that he spends a lot of his time reading murder mystery novels to them before they go to bed. And this one sheep, Lily, the sheep, the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character, always solves the mystery before he gets to it. And they show that by he's reading this book and all the sheep are like discussing who they think the killer is. There's one who's really insistent that it has to be the maid.
Could have been the maid. Could have been the butler.
Right. Could even have been the maid. Or the butler.
Or the maid.
Or the butler.
Or the dog.
But
it's the
it's-
son.
It's
as it
like the
turns out.
victim or whatever is actually the murderer. I don't remember what the actual thing was there, but the
I
point
don't
is
either.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, that sheep solved it. And then it's revealed that they are rather discriminatory against a winter lamb because most lambs are born in spring, but there are some lambs born in winter, and all the sheep don't like that. And then George is dead. And all we see his dead body, and then his hand is stained green. And this is interesting because the sheep have previously mentioned that they actually don't know about death. And they believe that when sheep die, they turn into clouds. So they expect him to turn to a cloud, and there's also a mechanism by which they can force themselves to forget something. And then they will not remember, except for Mopple, who always remembers. So Hugh Jackman's character has been murdered, And there is a single police officer in the town. His name is Tim Derry. He's played by Nicholas Braun. And he's an idiot.
Yeah.
He is an idiot. He's like, oh, the cause of death is clearly a heart attack. But all the sheep are like, no, he was murdered. This reporter named Elliot Matthews, that's the Nicholas Galitzine character, he is in town to report on a local culture festival, which turns out to be very underwhelming. But he is stuck in the town after crashing his car during a rainstorm, and now he's trying to cover this death as his like big break article.
Yeah. Even escalates a little further where he gets a ride from another police officer and sees someone going into the with the cornfield or something with a flashlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like the saddest festival ever. It's just like sad cheese and
Sad cheese.
sad cheese.
It's like 3 tents up.
Yeah.
Different
They
paraphernalia.
like they could have at least set up a Wii or something.
A Wii, a Clash Royale or something.
Yeah. So it's time for George's will reading. And it is revealed that he had twins, a son and a daughter. The daughter's name is Rebecca Hampstead, played by Molly Gordon. And the son we only actually get to see, or get to hear rather, through a phone call. And this is when a lot of players get involved. We have Emma Thompson plays Lydia Harbottle, who is George Hardy's lawyer. There is Hong Chow playing Beth Pennock, who is an estranged, not estranged, but she was in love with George Hardy. We've got Tosin Cole playing Kayla Merrow, another shepherd, and Kobna Holdbrook Smith playing another shepherd, except it's not he's a reverend. Get it? And then Conleth Hill playing Ham Gilliard, who is the town butcher.
Get it? Ham. Cooked meat.
No, I don't get it. But his son's name is Peter Van Buren, and he is attending via phone call. During the will reading, it is discovered that George was actually in the possession of a $30 million fortune because he invented a cure for a disease called a sheep disease called ORF, which is real, apparently.
Oh, I
Is
would
there
have.
a
I would
cure
have
for it in
assumed.
real life?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Is there a cure for ORF
Is it
in
a
real
blue
life?
powder?
It's a farmyard pox. There's usually only one non-painful lesion, but there can be more. That's gross. Oh, this is gross. Treatment options are limited. Injecting the lesion with cidofovir or applying imiquimod has been studied. Okay, these are just molecules.
Ugh.
Yeah, so no, there's actually not really a treatment for ORF in real life, but
Oh, I went to images and
don't go to images on ORF.
Don't go to images.
it's kind of nasty. But
Okay,
Here, let
just
me-
word to the wise. If we ever bring up a disease on this podcast,
look it up on
Oh.
Google.
don't go to Google Images.
Okay. Also, don't do it. I typed in "oof" by accident. Don't do that.
It's better than typing ORF in Google Images.
I just looked up images. I was like, "Why is it saying oof?" And I was like, "Oh, I pressed oof."
Yeah, that would make it say oof. But this will awards the fortune to Rebecca, and this is a new will. This is completely like this was written like 3 days before his murder or something, which a classic thing. The main suspect in this murder is Rebecca because Rebecca was given all of these $30 million. So naturally, she would have killed her father for the money, especially because she was already planning on coming to visit him. Makes sense that she would come to visit him and then kill him. But she maintains her innocence, and there is no concrete evidence against her yet because Cloud, the Regina Hall sheep, discovers one of Rebecca's like silver bracelets.
Rebecca's.
One of Rebecca's silver bracelets
Sorry. I'm sorry.
on the night of the murder, which means that she was lying because she said that she had never met her father. Interesting.
Yeah. Wait, you mean the never-ending object?
Yes, because it's a circle, so they just kind of trace their eyes around it. There are a lot of good sheep bits in it. Like when George dies, the butcher drives up to the farm because
Oh,
he
yeah.
assumes that he's going to be able to get the sheep.
So
And
he's
so he
counting
starts
them.
taking stock of them, and he goes 1, 2, 3, and then like the rest of the scene plays out. And then we cut back to him, and he's like, because he was counting sheep.
Yo.
So a lot of the sheep then lead Tim to the never-ending object, the bracelet, and now he's like, "Aha! I've got it. I now have enough for a search warrant to search Rebecca's hotel room." And she discovers that on the bottom of her shoe is a remnant of the same berry that was supposedly used to poison George. And not to mention that apparently Rebecca also has a criminal history, and her real name isn't even Rebecca. Do you remember what her real name is?
No.
No.
I just remember I don't know.
Her name's like Constipation Cramps or something.
Oh, it was some yeah, I remember it was like some
Oh.
weird name or something.
Yeah. That was like the bit is like, oh, of course I would.
Something cramps. Wait.
Yeah, or like celibacy cramps or something.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Will we ever find out?
It's chastity cramp.
Chastity Cramps.
Chastity. That's what it was.
So yeah, she changed her name because it was Chastity Cramps.
I mean, no disrespect, but
So
I'd probably
Maybe
do
a
this.
little.
Well, actually,
Rebecca is taken into custody. She is suspected and is now being charged with the murder. However, the sheep are not so certain. They have a little heart-to-heart with Sebastian when Sebastian reveals that he came from a carnival where he was forced to fight dogs. Not only that, but he is a winter lamb. Ooh.
oh no.
Which is a big reveal because Lily and Mopple have been hanging out with him a lot, doing a lot of detective work alongside him. So they, with the understanding that now they will be sold to Caleb, decide to go check out Caleb's meadow. And what they discover is that all of Caleb's sheep have these little bells on them. They all look exactly the same, and they all go to a slaughterhouse.
You mean a laughter house, as it's first revealed,
A laughter
A
house.
laughter house.
and then Seth Rogen laughs at it, and then no, wait, wrong movie.
And yeah, so and they discover that Caleb has a working relationship with the butcher.
the accomplice.
And so they run back, are then attacked by these guard dogs, which Sebastian fights off, but he is mortally wounded in the process. And now Mopple has to explain to Lily that sheep don't turn into clouds. And yeah, she realizes at this point that she just made herself forget all the sheep that had previously died.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even remember her own mother. She just knows intellectually that she has one, as is revealed near the beginning of the movie. So, with that understanding that they're about to be turned into mutton chops, she tries to get all of the sheep rallied out towards the town or wherever that they'll be safe. However, it was revealed earlier on through a little fun gag that the sheep cannot cross the road.
Yeah.
Because the sheep, they go up to the road and they're very scared of it because it's not grass. But you know who can cross the road?
The chicken.
The chicken.
The chicken.
So the chicken crosses the road. Why? We may never know.
Well, to get to the other side, of course. That's part of the joke.
And so she leaves the other
Yep.
sheep out, but
Yep.
they don't want to go across the road.
Yep.
And so they all will themselves to forget about all of the stuff that she just said. And they all go back. And Lily herself tries to forget, but Mopple stops her. Mopple's like, no, you can't forget. Can't do that.
Name Mopple's so funny.
And then Lily tries to forget George, even despite Mopple's warnings, but then she sees a vision of George. His ghost, you could say. And then she starts to put the pieces together, and she discovers that naturally Rebecca isn't actually the murderer. Based on one of the biggest giveaways in mystery novels, as they put it, the victim
Yeah.
is always the most important clue.
Yes.
Mm,
And also, I
interesting.
will say this part, like especially after the dream sequence happened and like the backstory with Sebastian, I will say that like this movie treats that stuff really nicely, and it doesn't feel like it has to like cram jokes in all the time, and also just like making you like feel emotions for sheep was something I wasn't expecting.
Mhm.
Like obviously, I wasn't sobbing during this movie, but also just like you care about like these like CGI sheep, which like the last person I saw that could do that was like James Gunn with Rocket Raccoon and Guardians of the Galaxy, or like Caesar from the Planet of the Apes. Like it's not easy to do. I think they do it well.
I agree, and honestly, I wasn't sobbing at this movie, but I know people who were.
I do too.
And I get why you would. Like, it's very poignant and very, like, you are emotionally connected to these sheep. It balances a lot of things, and we'll talk about this once we finish the plot summary as well, but there's elements of almost any movie that you could want in here, right? And I think it is a family movie that manages to hit on all of those things for literally every age group.
I agree. Yeah.
And yeah, we'll discuss that a little bit later as well. So Lily and the Winter Lamb go over to the jail where Rebecca's being held to make a little drawing of George, and then with two lines radiating off of George. One leads to Rebecca, the other leads to nothing, like a yellow circle. And it's painted in green paint, which also seemed to stain the hands of George Hardy. So Tim is then ready to transfer Rebecca because he doesn't understand what that little chart means. But when he notices the lamb, everything suddenly clicks for him. And so now I will spoil to you the mystery of the sheep detectives. To begin, the killer is the reporter, Nicholas Galatzin's character.
He-Man.
He-Man himself is a murderer.
He-Man himself. Try saying it.
First of all, isn't it weird that he had sort of no repercussions for having his car crashed? Like, you'd think that would have been a bigger thing in the movie, but it's not. That's because he intentionally crashed his own car so that he would have an excuse for it to appear normal that he's staying in the town. He then was escorted, like he was ordered out of the will hearing because him and the lawyer were in cahoots.
They were playing Kahoot.
And he was actually the son. He was George Hardy's son. And he broke into George Hardy's trailer, and there was a struggle. And the green stain comes from the blue paint that the medicine is made out of, as well as the artificial yellow hair dye that that character uses to dye his hair. And obviously, Galatzine maintains his innocence, but we all know that he is wrong. The cop steals a little piece of hair for DNA sequencing, and he tries to escape in his car, but then Reggie and Ronnie to the rescue, and they start bashing it up.
Yeah, they start bashing this one after they were told not to bash the red truck from
It's
earlier.
a legitimate cause.
Yeah, and there's a legitimate cause for bashing. So then Rebecca takes the Hardy last name and all of his sheep and all of Caleb's sheep, and then it ends with her reading a book about how to take care of sheep written by George Hardy, and then the final shot of the movie is very wide shot, and in the sky there's a cloud that looks undeniably like Sebastian. Roll credits. What did we think of the Sheep Detectives?
This was really good.
Yeah. Not only that, it was a great mystery too, very well crafted. Like I know it is like based on the novel, so it has a solid foundation to build that off of, but still very well executed murder mystery.
Yeah. It's even one that I feel like they do a good job of, because a lot of mysteries or a lot of movies with big twists try to like withhold as much information from you as possible. So then when it happens, you're just like, well, no, I didn't predict that because I didn't know this before. But like this movie does a good job of like setting those things in place to where like when it pays off, it goes, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Like,
think
it's
that's
just like
a hard balance to strike between how much information you give and versus how much do you reveal to, for it to like make sense in retrospect.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and this movie plays totally fair, which is just very, very impressive. I mean, like, even some of the best murder mysteries really don't play fair. Glass Onion is an example I always point to as a movie
Yes.
that does not play fair almost at all.
Yeah.
And it's still a really good murder mystery. But a murder mystery is always more fun when you could realistically understand how you could get to the same conclusion that the characters get to and what the actual conclusion is. And, you know, I know people, one of them is sitting in this room, that did come to the conclusion that the movie did before the movie got there.
Like for me, like maybe it's just because like I used to watch a lot of these a lot, and so it's just like you naturally pick up on certain things,
Mhm.
or just like you
Mhm.
ask yourself. At least for me, like I ask myself a lot of questions whenever I watch this, to where it's just like he crashes his car, and I immediately go like, I mean, it was raining, but like it wasn't downpouring, so I was just like, what would cause him to crash his car? And then I kind of reverted back of just like, did he do that on purpose? And then some other stuff. He never mentioned where he was from, and then like when they do the will reading, he has to leave the room because he's a reporter, and they close the door, but they don't show him after.
Mm-hmm.
And so then immediately was like, okay, what was he doing before that? But then they followed up again because they show him with the policeman. So then you're just like, oh, but like it's not him because he's with. But like they didn't bridge the gap. But like it's very well executed, and also the motivation behind his character I didn't predict. Like I'm not saying like, oh, like this movie was so easy to get. Like that's not really the case. Like there was actually a lot that I didn't see coming. At
Yeah.
least like
No, yeah.
the green hand was the thing I kept being stumped on. I'm just like, I don't know where that came from.
Like as someone who's also watched a lot of like murder mystery TV shows, say like Father Brown, which this movie reminds me a lot on like Masterpiece on PBS, those sorts of shows, I picked up a lot less than what you did. So certainly it worked for me on such a such a degree. Like I had no idea what to look for really, but when everything was revealed, it's like, oh, I could have figured that out. It wasn't like totally obscured from me.
Yeah.
Right. If the movie pauses at a certain point, then I could reasonably like work out exactly what happened if I were to spend that amount of time. When I'm watching a murder mystery movie, I usually actually don't try to think about like who the killer is. I'll usually because
Just follow along.
usually
Yeah.
I'll either follow along with the mystery or I like to watch the detective work. I like to watch their thought process. Is one of the reasons that Glass Onion's still a great movie, even though it doesn't play fair, is because of Daniel Craig's performance. But yeah, when I'm watching a murder mystery, I'm not always trying to solve the mystery. The problem is with a lot of murder mysteries is that even when I'm not trying to solve them, I do. And that's when it's not a very well constructed mystery because I kind of want to be shocked by the twist. And if I'm not, if I got it way beforehand, a movie I like to point to is The Woman in Cabin 10, which I predicted almost immediately.
Yeah.
It's not very well constructed. But this movie is very well constructed.
Yeah.
I did not. I understood exactly what was happening. I understood exactly what they were saying, and before the reveal, I didn't get it, which is very impressive.
Yeah. It's very, because there's enough to keep your attention going. Like obviously you have the dynamic between the sheep, and then they give backstories to each of them, and then there's like a little bit of a camaraderie there because you have like the sheep that are doing the solving, and you also have the police detective doing the solving and all the people, and also the human characters as the suspect is something that's kind of put on the back burner on this one, to where it's like that's not really the focus. Where like a lot of murder mysteries tend to have those in the front of just like, okay, which one of these people did it? But like from the start, it was clear that like most of them probably didn't do it.
Yeah, and there's also that little tie back to where in his will George Hardy says like, in front of you stand a fool, a lover, two murderers, like a victim and two murderers, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
Which is interesting, and it ties into like you're constantly thinking, ooh, maybe this character is one of the two murderers. Who are the two murderers? How does he know that there are two murderers?
yeah. I guess also too, like I don't always like I don't just watch a murder mystery. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna predict this one, but like
Yeah.
sometimes I ask myself like, wait, where'd he go?
Right.
And then I immediately start piecing things. I'm like, wait, so we crashed this guy, and then my brain just like kicks on. I'm like, oh, I'm doing it again.
Yeah, fair. No, and I didn't notice a lot of those things. Like I bought the movie's explanation for why he crashed, hook, line, and sinker.
It makes sense. Yeah, that's when you have a well constructed movie. Like,
I didn't realize that he was gone that whole time. I just thought they weren't showing outside because it was more interesting what's going on inside. And to be fair, I was interested by what was going on inside, so I didn't care to know what was going on outside. Which is yet another mark of the movie's greatness, you know?
yeah,
A good murder mystery knows how to turn your attention in a specific way and knows how to make you not notice certain things that are irregularities.
yeah.
And I think this movie does a very, very, very good job at that.
Yeah, and what's even more impressive to me is that like I think that most ages can watch this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like they find a good balance of just like not going too dark with the mystery, not going too like raunchy with the comedy. They're just like it just has a balance of things that just like anybody can find it funny. Like I found quite a bit of this movie pretty funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make a joke in this movie where like the sheep are walking past a church and they talk about God and it's just like God's a lamb and they eat him.
God's he's a lamb, but he's also a shepherd, and he's
bread.
made of bread, and they eat him every Sunday. Like that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
and I mean, I think definitely people of all ages can watch this because I think people of a very young age are going to be really attached to the characters who are really, really good. And if you're slightly older, you might be really attached to the themes of this thing because this thing is actually pretty poignant and has something to say about death. Or, you know, the older audience, well, I say older, right? I don't have specific age ranges to back that up, but the older audience, probably the parents in the crowd taking their kids to see it, will probably appreciate it because of all of those things. And it's also a damn good murder mystery,
Yeah.
which I know we keep harping on, but it's really important to the success of this movie. And to touch on the humor, this movie gets so many laughs out of like a blank sheep emoting.
Yeah.
You know, just a sheep is there and that's the joke and it's hilarious. It works every single time.
Yeah. Or like especially when the sheep start making noises, like
Yeah.
for some reason, the funniest character in this movie, unironically, was the two characters that Brett Goldstein plays.
Yeah.
Like every line out of their mouths were like so funny. Like they make like a joke about the word justice. Or it's like he's gonna get justice, just us, no, just us.
It's like he's gonna get justice. Just what? No, justice. Just us what?
Just his.
Like that's really good. And there's also a lot of visual gags and like kind of things that take a second to register.
You get the sheep falling, of course.
Right? There's the sheep
Yeah.
falling. There's also like
the crossing the road bit was funny. That with the chicken.
the crossing the road bit was funny. There's a bit near the beginning.
Oh, they put it in the trailer though.
They did put it in the trailer, and it was funny in the trailer. But there's a bit near the beginning where like Lily has the answer, and she's trying to tell the other sheep that she knows the answer to the mystery. And when he reveals the answer to the mystery, and it actually was her, they show the sheep reacting, but they don't have them say it in English. So Lily just goes bah, and then all the other sheep go bah, and you know exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one visual gag that I missed the first time and had it pointed out to me later. But there's a bit in the movie where, like, the police station has a neon sign that says like police station.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a fish market that has a neon sign that says fish market. And right next to both of those establishments is the neon sign store running a discount for locals.
That's funny.
That's really good.
I didn't notice that.
Me neither. Like there's a lot put into this movie, and just a lot of thought. It works better than some of the significantly bigger movies that we've reviewed on the podcast. You
Yeah.
Oh
know?
yeah,
Especially for this year.
yeah,
I mean, it's a nice change of pace considering what has been going on lately in terms of releases.
Definitely true. And we also, I think this is a very well acted film.
oh yeah. There's some really good voice acting, and especially like I mean, Hugh Jackman is just a fantastic actor. But I also thought like Emma Thompson, Hong Chow, like I like their characters.
Yeah, and they're just very realistic and played very well.
Yeah,
I think Molly Gordon is giving a standout performance, and Nicholas Galitzine, I've seen him in nothing, and
yeah. This was the first thing I saw him in too. I think.
and suddenly I'm excited for Masters of the Universe. So that goes to show you just how good he was in this. Because yeah, he was just really good. I think this is one of the very few movies that I think I can universally recommend.
Yeah,
Just like you'll probably get something out of this pretty much no matter who you are.
last time I had that recommendation for somebody, and this movie kind of reminded me of it. It reminded me a little bit of Paddington with a murder mystery.
I wanted to say about Paddington, the Paddington Letterboxd account
Yeah, they reviewed
left
this.
a
They
review
reviewed this movie. Yeah.
on the Sheep Detectives, which is the first movie that they've reviewed since April of last year.
Yeah, because the part of the marketing for the third Paddington movie was that Paddington had
Was
a
that-
letterbox.
Right. But they left a review on this movie, and I don't know why, because it's not the same studio,
Well, no, it's funny.
but it is very funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but which was kind of funny for me because this movie, like, I was walking out of it, I was like, kind of reminded me a little bit of like Paddington, with like a murder mystery.
yeah, no, it really it does feel like Paddington, honestly.
Yeah. I say, oh, that's a good thing. I mean, the last movie I recommended to universally to everybody was all three of the Paddington movies.
Yeah. I would also just to highlight to point out some highlights from Paddington's review. He says that he laughed a great deal, but he gasped far louder than necessary during the final reveal, which was also my experience with the Sheep Detectives. I laughed a great deal and I gasped louder than necessary during the final reveal.
Yeah.
No, this is a great movie.
Yeah. It's very good.
So, do we have anything more to say, or do we just jump into ratings?
I don't think so. I'm ready to jump into ratings.
Yeah, I'm
All right,
ready.
I give this a 5.
I will say this before I give mine. And 2026 has been a little rough for me. I don't know if it's just like, beginning of the year movies is kind of like a rocky road. I mean, this is the first time I'm watching new releases as they come out. So I guess take that with a little grain of salt that maybe, I don't know if we do this next year and I'm in the same spot, but I haven't been crazy about a lot of the ones we've seen, but this was a very good film. I would give it a 5 as well. It's my second favorite movie of the year, currently behind Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I'd say this was very good behind, and I'd still put it behind Project Hail Mary and maybe Bone Temple. So I wouldn't give it a 5 just for that. Like in comparison, I might just give it a 4 or a 4.5. I still think it's really good, very enjoyable movie, but
Okay. Yeah, sounds very good. If you have anything to say about what we said, about what we didn't say, about something completely unrelated,
yeah, sorry
it-
we didn't really say too much, me and
Yeah.
for this review.
put it in the comments, and we will respond to it on a future episode of the weekly spoiler review. And yeah, I think we should jump into plugs. Max, what's our Instagram?
Yeah.
Don't click off.
Yeah, our Instagram is post_credits podcast, all lowercase. Kind of like what I've been saying since we started that. I think a few months ago now. At this point, it has just like some bonus content. We're starting Out of the Theater reactions. Our latest video we uploaded on there was Out of the Theater for Michael for our weekly spoiler for that one. So be on the lookout for more out of the theater, bonus gameplays, things like that.
Yeah, and then we're also all on Letterboxd. I am Threnv on Letterboxd. That is THRNV. Like listen. I will have a review up for The Sheep Detectives when you're seeing this, as well as a review for the psychopathic Jake Gyllenhaal thriller Nightcrawler.
Yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd at MJ Spiegel, all lowercase again, MJSPIEGEL. I haven't been doing great with solo reviews. I'm going to try to catch up on those. Hopefully, I'll have a review for The Sheep Detectives by the time this goes up. I am working on lists, however. I am teasing something that I'm planning, hopefully, to do on this as like a little bonus. But planning on watching every single film to make over $1 billion at the global box office. There is 60 of them. I've seen, I think, 53, 54 of them. So I'm very close to finishing that series. So keep on the lookout for my final ranking of all of them.
Yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd at Invaded Films. That is INVADED FILMS. By the time this comes out, don't really know what I'm planning to do with it right now, what I'm gonna see exactly, but look out for all the crazy, unique, and weird and offensive and anything in between for just random movies that I come across and happen to review. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. So, with all of that being said, roll credits.